Good morning, millennials.
I don't have it in me to do it.
I don't have it in me to do the show. I think we have to cancel.
Oh my God,
Just kidding.
we can't. The fucking psychopaths on the internet, they have been unleashed this week. Like, I don't know if it's something in the water, maybe it's just the time of year, but
I think it's the time of year, it's the weather, everyone
the level of trollisms that I've experienced in the past 48 hours is at an all-time high. And you think like, oh, I'm not really that fat anymore. Like, how much, what can they say? It got worse.
Now that I'm near perfect.
Yeah, no, oh my God. I actually was just reading comments on I haven't really been on my phone, like looking at my comments, because I was just like busy living my life and making premium content. And this morning I actually read through like all the comments on my pictures from this weekend, and like, they were crazy mean.
What do you mean?
Some girl was like, you don't fucking breathe without telling people about it. And now everyone wants to know how much you lost weight and you're not telling them. Like, that's fucking disgusting. And I'm like, I literally responded, I was like, really, bitch? Like, I talk about it all the time on the shows. Like, sorry that you're not in tune. I talk about it all the time.
Right.
And I was like, grab a fucking spoon, you ugly loser, Kara, or whatever her name was. Then someone else, like, I can't. I'm like, first, I'm fat, unhealthy, sending a bad message. Now, I'm not, and like, by the way, when I say I'm skinny, that's a joke. Like, let's be real. I'm a size 12. Like, I'm a little above average weight now. Like, I'm just less fat. And like, when I call myself skinny, like, I'm fucking with you. But like, now
No, it's like when you're fat and you're setting a bad example. And now that you're skinny, it's like
you're setting a bad example because you want to be skinny. What's wrong with wanting to be skinny?
nothing.
And by the way, I've never felt more skinny in my life than I did this weekend because, first of all, I just looked so cute in all my pictures. But all these people that I was with, I haven't seen in a year because the last time I saw them was this trip last year, which was really like the heaviest I've ever been. So everyone was talking about it, and I was like, well, at least I think they were. and like, I just said, no, nobody really, like, you see me every week. Like, the people that I hang out with, I see, like, on a weekly basis. But so these people haven't seen me in a whole year, really from, like, now my fattest to my skinniest. And they were, like, everyone was asking me about it.
That's shocking.
Like, yeah, I know. Because, like, I don't really think of it like that, but I guess 45 pounds just...
Flies off.
It really does. So it's been a morning for me.
Understood. It's been a morning for me because I was so excited really to get back to the show today because I missed it. I'm not going to lie. And, you know, because all of the rallying cries for our return.
So yesterday we were supposed to do a show with Jackie and Snitch, but it was MLK Day and the studio was closed, which we found out after we said we were going to do a Monday show.
Right. So we couldn't do one even if we had wanted to, which I actually did want to because, of course, I want to talk to my favorite counselor. So I was so excited for today's show, but then, of course, I never fell asleep last night, and now I have, like, a tired headache, and I can't really, like, see out of this side, you know?
100%. I am not 100% sure like what exactly it is that I'm feeling because I do feel like a little drunk, but I haven't drank in like 36 hours. So it can't be that.
It's the fatigue.
Yeah, and I'm just...
Fatiguey vibes.
I'm just dead. That's the only, like, and I know I say that all the time, like, I'm dead. No. This is as close to death as it comes.
I'm sorry, and it's really on me then to pick up the slack, and I was so prepared to until I never fell asleep. And
I had a thought this morning. I would love to get your vibe on it because I was talking to Ben. I was just like, I'm so tired. What we are in charge of our own destiny. Like, and I would love to. And I know that people don't love change, but like, what if we did the show at like 12:30? West Coasters could be up at 9:30.
For sure. We've talked about this before. And yes, technically we could do it, and maybe we probably should, but there's a few reasons why we don't. One, if we're at 12:30, technically we're not a morning show.
Hold on, Jake, can we make our mic volume a little louder?
If we're at 12:30, technically we're not a morning show.
Right.
And I know, like, what would we say if someone asked us what we did and we couldn't say morning show?
We're like a mid-afternoon show.
Right. So maybe we could do 11:30. But I do think that starting our day at this time, like if we pushed it back any later, like, and also wouldn't even help us.
You lose the day.
Yeah, you lose more of the day. We would go to sleep an hour later, and we'd be just as tired when we woke up at 10:30.
I agree.
So for that reason, we keep it at 10:30.
We'll leave it, but it was just a thought. You know?
No, I know. But like sometimes, you know, you have to, like, waking up
is a part of life.
It's a part of life.
I know.
Oh my God, there's a funny joke from the most amazing movie I saw this weekend, The Upside, that everyone needs to go see. I know they stopped promoting
Really? Because Ben saw Green Book and he said it was the best movie he's ever saw.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet, and you know what? Green Book is getting all the Oscar buzz, and I don't need to speak on behalf of Green Book because it's getting plenty of buzz, which we'll get into, but no one's talking about The Upside because they tried to cancel Kevin Hart, and now, like, no one wants to touch him.
Is that Bryan Cranston in a wheelchair?
Yes. The best movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh my God. It was just so sweet and funny. I was laughing like just cackling at so many things. Kevin Hart was so funny, but also like he was playing a serious actor.
Right.
And I think he did both pretty well. There were a few moments where I was like, okay, this is like a little dramatic, Kevin.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. Like, you must all go see it because there's not even commercials for it anymore ever since like...
I haven't seen anything for it.
Right. Now you have. This is me telling you.
I'm going to see it. I also want to see Green Book.
I want to see Green Book too, but you have to see The Upside first. It was so good.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I left a movie feeling like that. I remember it was called The Greatest Showman.
No, it was Mary Poppins for sure, for me.
I haven't seen it.
Everyone's like, Emily Blunt was snubbed for the Oscar in Mary Poppins. Is it a snub if you don't deserve it?
No.
No, she was snubbed for A Quiet Place because that was fucking wild. But,
didn't see it.
Oh my God, actually a crazy movie. I would highly recommend. What'd you do this weekend?
I just had a really productive weekend of doing nothing but also accomplishing a lot of things. Like, for example, Friday, we didn't do a show, and I got my wedding dress fitted for the first time.
Ooh.
And honestly, it looked even better than I remember.
Honestly, me too. And the group chat was so fucking out of control, off the charts.
There were so many pictures because I was picking out veils and headpieces, etc. Do I wear a headpiece? How am I going to wear my hair? Which that part I have to figure out on my own. But I was really worried because I remember when we went to your first fitting and you wound up having to get a whole new dress. So I was like, there's a possibility that I remember it more fondly than it actually was.
And that slew of months between you picking a dress and then getting the first fitting, because wedding dresses they're made to order. It's such a long time, and you really like change so much in like 6 months.
Right.
So maybe I'm a different person now.
Right, but I definitely changed so much in the 6 months, but I became more of a person that would wear that dress.
No, the dress is so beautiful, and you like have tightened up since the last fitting. Was it big?
It was really big, but it was good because now I get to fit it like exactly to me, which I like.
And it's better than the opposite.
Totally. And I felt even more sure of my decision. And it's really, like, when people, like, if I don't show someone my dress and I just describe it, like, it's really not what you would expect. It's really kind of off the beaten path.
Okay.
A little bit.
It's just like haute couture glam.
It's so haute couture.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And, like, I'm just, like, we were talking about this last week, like, it's just like such a treacherous thing, and like the fact that you have it checked off your list, like of all the things on the list of things for your wedding, like having the dress one being solid is the greatest feeling. Like I would rather have a solid dress and like no caterer. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. No, the dress is the most solid thing about my wedding.
And that's all that matters.
When Zach and I have been watching the Fyre Festival documentaries, and he was like, "Is our wedding Fyre Festival?"
Everyone thought I was at Fyre Festival this weekend.
Like
is
real,
this Fyre? Yeah, like what it was supposed to be.
You were in the next promo video.
No, totally. Like we were
so
filming
funny.
content for next year's promo.
Oh my God. I'm going to get into I watched the Netflix one so that you don't have to give them views. I'll talk about all the pros and cons, credit where credit is due. It had its moments. You know, the guy like almost sucked dick for the case of Evian from Customs.
As someone who hasn't seen either of the documentaries, I'm seeing people advocating on behalf of either for like moral reasons. Like people are like, I watched the Netflix one because they paid Billy McFarland.
So Netflix played Jerry Media.
Right, and so Hulu people are like, well, I watched the Netflix one because Jerry Media produced the Netflix one, and they are responsible for thousands of people being stranded on an island and people not getting paid for their hard work. And to me, one of the arguments, just like people like caring that they paid Billy McFarland, first of all, like it's entertainment. I needed to see it. I need to see Billy McFarland. Second of all, that money eventually has to go to the $29 million that he owes people. So you know what? That's Hulu putting money in the pockets of the victims, if you think about it like that.
I totally agree. It depends on what kind of person you are. If you're like, just want to watch it for the spectacle of it all, you probably would enjoy the Netflix one more. But the Hulu one gives way more insight into the Ponzi scheme of it all, the financials, and it, at every step along the way, explains how this festival was never capable of happening. Like, ever, in no world. The Netflix one makes it seem like, oh, you know, we were working really, really hard. Like, we almost had it, but then it rained. And if it hadn't rained, you know, our FEMA tents would have stood strong.
Right.
Like, even if it hadn't rained, you still set up a luxury festival with hurricane relief tents.
Right.
So
with a known con man.
It would still have been a dumpster fire because you thought, like, if you paid $250,000 for a villa and you're staying in a hurricane relief tent, like...
That's upsetting.
Even though the tent wasn't rained on and you weren't part of a mudslide...
You knew there wasn't a villa there.
You still didn't get what you paid for.
Right.
So I'll get into it later because we have a story that touches on some of the aftermath of these documentaries. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I went to the spa. It was lovely.
You had literally the exact opposite of my weekend. And honestly, I need your weekend this weekend.
I watched the Avicii documentary.
Oh, I downloaded it on my iPad for the plane, but I just never got to it because I watched the second season of Friends from College, which is just an underrated show on Netflix, and I think everyone should watch it.
Oh,
it's just
I will,
good.
because I've been looking for something to watch like all weekend.
And it's like juicy. It's not the greatest, but it's just like good.
I almost started watching It Takes Two.
Oh, I need you to watch that,
I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
The Avicii documentary was really good. I recommend it so we could talk about it. And it just makes me even more sure that he was murdered.
Yeah.
Like 1,000% sure. And for other people, it makes them feel even more sure that he suffered from mental illness and that he committed suicide, which he definitely struggled mentally. A lot of that was circumstantial due to the fact of his career, like wasn't built for his personality. But he got out of it. And 2 years later, he committed suicide. Doesn't make sense.
No, and
he committed suicide on vacation with his friends while his new music prepared to come out and made life plans with his girlfriend.
Right. Speaking of world-class DJs, I had the honor of being in the presence of a Paris Hilton DJ session.
You want to know what's so funny? Sorry.
Go.
It's like you asked me about my weekend, and you never really do, and you had a much more interesting weekend. And now,
it was a
and now
springboard.
I'm realizing you asked me just so I would ask you back.
Duh!
But I was always
but
planning on
we
it.
had good conversation.
We did. And there were I did have some things that I wanted to talk about my weekend.
Yeah, no.
Some movies.
I'm sorry, I thought you picked up on what I was putting down.
No, it was because I was like, wow, that was so sweet.
Speaking of world-class DJs, I just have to say, I'm not gonna lie, I totally thought Paris being a DJ was she had someone mixing for her and she just was on the mic yes. Honestly, I was shook to my core. She brought all of her own equipment, was there early setting up sound check. She was such a good DJ with the buttons and the transition, and she was using all of the buttons. She knew how to work everything. I was so impressed. She had such good taste in music. Her transitions were epic, and she was pew, pew, pew. It was so good, and she lit this party up. All the teenagers there were dying, taking pictures and videos of her. She took a picture with everyone, hugging everyone. She is literally, she's not what you think she is, you guys. Paris Hilton is a steen.
Oh my God, really?
She is a good fucking time. She is fun. She's a life of the party. She's a genius. And she's so smart, but you don't even know how smart she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know you were going to say she's a steen.
Yeah, no, she's
because
one of us.
I know that she's not what you think she and I watched the American memes, so she's definitely smart and business savvy and doing the most, and people just underestimate her.
Yep.
But for you to say she's a steen, that wasn't expected.
No, she really has made partying an industry, and she's created an industry of people who are famous for being famous. But what you see, you think it's an image. No, she's a good fucking time. She's epic, and she is steeny as hell. She has the same taste in music. She's just she's one of us.
Wow, that's great. So how was your weekend?
It was epic. I mean, I'm dead, and I don't know if I will ever physically recover, in terms of my body. Also, I don't think I can ever post on Instagram again because I don't want these pictures to go to the bottom. Do you know what I mean?
That's fine. You don't really post that often anyway.
Yeah. I was just my outfits I was really struggling with before. I was on FaceTime with Jackie the night before I left, and I just couldn't get my outfits together, and I was really struggling outfit-wise. But when your body needs to work, God just makes it work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we were at Coachella and I thought we were gonna die and I had no clothes, somehow all my clothes just fit and I made it through.
And we were gorgeous.
Yeah, and God just God takes your body and He makes it work sometimes.
Right, or He takes your mind and makes you look at yourself more fondly.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe the mirrors were working away and the lighting and the sun didn't shine on where it wasn't supposed to.
I know, yeah, exactly. And I just had the greatest time. So it was my friend Crystal's birthday. She lives in LA, and everyone there was from LA. So it was in part of Mexico that is so hard to get to from New York. Literally, I was the only person from New York, me and Brian Atwood, and we both had to take the longest flights ever.
Did you get any shoes?
No, but I was obviously thirsting for him. He also is a steen. But we knew that already. He's friends with Simon, so I have met him a couple times, and he's just very cool and fun. And so, I don't know how many people were there, 100, just overtook this hotel. It was so much fun. I went last year, but I didn't really know a lot of people last year, so I was the new girl at camp. But this year, I was a sophomore, and they were new freshmen, and I was no, don't talk to me.
And Paris was your counselor?
Paris was my counselor. I'm just don't talk to me. It was just such a good time. I don't even know where to begin. I was drunk the entire time, and I was making mistakes. I was drinking rosé during the day and then tequila at night, which just you know me, I don't roll like that. I can't transition. But God took care of my body, and I made it out alive, and I had such a great time. I got to reconnect with my girlfriend Gwyneth, who was just she was an angel. That's her, you know?
Yeah.
She taught me love, patience.
Was she getting into your Clams Casino?
No, not this time. She knew better. Now she's getting into my Glam's casino. And I was talking to her, getting advice because I was telling her
about your plans.
What?
Don't spoil it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know. But I have something planned that involves, it's really an homage to Gwyneth. And I told her about it, just got some advice. And I was trying to, I recorded a voice note of like what I'm gonna do. Okay, whatever. It's like too vague, but I showed it to her.
And was she excited?
She was very supportive.
And she gave you good tips and tricks?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it was just an all-around great weekend. I got great content, great memories, made great friends, and reconnected with old ones, and got told I was skinny 100 times. And honestly, the second I got there, they started calling me skinny, and like the weekend started off on a high and never came down. And then the last night, each night was like a themed party. The third night was like a white Saint-Tropez vibe, and honestly, I think I can say this with certainty, it was the best party I've ever been to.
Really?
First of all, the party was just epic. Shannon, who's Crystal's best friend and now my best friend, she is a great event planner, and she took this party down. Like, it was so lit, and everyone was lit. Like, everyone was lit the whole weekend, but like this party in particular, like honestly, I don't remember anything. Like, it was just, I remember having the time of my life. Also, I had many a conversation with one lady sitter. And I said, my sister Jackie and I appreciate your work. My sister Jackie, like, really is just like, and he was just like, we see each other. He respects us, we respect him. I told him when I come to LA soon, I need to come on the pop, and he was more than supportive. And I just love him.
That's so exciting.
And he really is also like the life of the party, good time.
Oh, I'm sure. I also started I had watched before, but I watched a few episodes of Nightly Pop this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I was on the floor. Really? It's so funny, and like I just can't believe some of the things that they say.
Is it only on one night still?
Now it's on Sunday nights, and they took now Busy Phillips is on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She lost Sunday, which I think is a big deal because Sunday nights are
the Kardashians.
So, oh my God, sometimes I'm like so shocked by the things that they say, and they're on E. Like, they're so shady, and it's so funny.
Oh, I need to watch.
You really need to watch. Oh my God, it's like wild. I just can't believe that it's on TV. It's like a web show.
Right.
Where you can just get away with anything and be hilarious.
And say curse words. Do they curse?
Yeah,
Do they bleep?
Yeah, but it's funny still.
A bleep is cool sometimes.
No, totally.
It makes it like even more cutting.
It's like maybe they're not even saying curse words, they're just throwing in bleeps.
Love it.
We should try it. Makes you think. Okay, are you ready now for the fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast?
I feel better, yeah. Maybe a sip of your coffee. I feel like that might help.
Oh, sure.
Just warning, your coffee will taste different after I drink it because I have the breath of a dragon, and it's going to change the way your coffee tastes.
That is just...
Caramel? Is that hazelnut?
It's just cold brew. You know. Okay, we have a lot of stories. I tried to subgroup them and to make them seem like one story. Okay. First story, Oscar nominations are here.
Yes.
The full list of nominees. Best Actor, Christian Bale, Vice, Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born, William Dafoe at Attorney's Gate, Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody, Viggo Mortensen, Green Book. Best Actress, Yalitza Aparicio, Roma, Glenn Close, The Wife, Olivia Colman, The Favorite, Lady Gaga, A Star is Born, Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh my God, I found out something so interesting about Melissa McCarthy. Do you know Brian Atwood discovered her?
What? No.
Yes. Like at a restaurant. They're best friends, and I knew that, but like he discovered her years ago, and she was like funny, and he was like, you should be doing comedy, and he like threw her up on a mic.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
Best Supporting Actor, Mahershala Ali, Green Book, Sam Elliott, A Star is Born, Adam Driver, Black Klansman, Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me, Sam Rockwell, Vice. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams, Vice, Marina de Tavira, Roma, Regina King, If Oshry Could Talk, Emma Stone, and Rachel Weisz for The Favorite. They still can't choose the favorite between those two. Yeah. And neither of them will ever win.
Because so it doesn't matter.
No one will pick The Favorite. Best Director, Spike Lee, Black Klansman, Pawlikowski, Cold War, Yorgos Lanthimos, The Favorite, Lanthimos.
Okay, all I care about.
Alfonso Cuarón, Roma, Adam McKay, Vice. Bradley Cooper was not nominated for Best Director for A Star is Born.
Oh, but was he nominated for Best Actor?
Yes, but the snub is the director.
You know what? It's like, he's the new Leo. He's never won an Oscar.
He's never won an Oscar. I think, no, but he's still in it. Like,
I think the true snub for him was Silver Linings Playbook because she won.
I think the true snub for him, because that movie is horrible,
American Sniper.
Is American Sniper.
You know,
he carried the movie on his back, and the movie carried the box office on its back.
Right, that's the thing. It's like for the Grammys, in the words of Kanye, I hear you got to sell it to smash the Grammy. Like the amount of ticket sales, like that makes an impact on the likelihood that you'll win. So
no, it doesn't, but it should. In addition to the fact that his acting chops were
the fact that he was Chris Kyle, like his shoulders, like he was so, the physicality, he really changed the way that he looked for that role. The fact that the same person played that and the same person played like the guy from Silver Linings Playbook, like that's crazy.
The guy from The Hangover?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So diverse.
So, I mean, I'll never get over that snub. I don't think he should win Best Actor for A Star Is Born.
No, by the way.
Actually, he did a really good job.
That's what I was gonna say. I think he was a much better, and just in terms of acting skills, acting chops, believability, like suspense of disbelief.
Yeah.
He really was a much better actor than she was.
Right, he was Jackson Maine.
See, when you're that famous, sometimes it's hard. It's like, you're not Jackson Maine, you're Bradley Cooper. And that's how I felt about Lady Gaga. I'm like, you're not Allie, you're Lady Gaga.
Right.
So I found it hard to believe like she was in the tub, you know, while he was drinking alcohol. You know, like I wasn't believing it. But I was buying what he was selling.
I was too. I don't think he'll win, and I don't think she'll win. And in this case, it really is an honor to be nominated for them.
Yeah, but she's getting so close to her EGOT.
Yeah, wait. And Best Original Song, Shallow is nominated.
Yes.
Also nominated All the Stars, Black Panther, I'll Fight, RBG, The Place Where Lost Things Go, Mary Poppins Returns, and When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, The Battle of Buster Scruggs.
Haven't heard of any of them. I do believe Shallow will win, but I just want to say, justice for I'll Always Remember Us This Way.
Agreed.
I think it's just as good, if not better, than Shallow. But maybe that's because Shallow is just like everyone's obsessed with it now. I'm like, maybe I'm over it.
I think the cool thing about Shallow is that they really like wrote 2 bars in a parking lot and then turned it into a song on stage. And it's like, you know when they're singing,
Of course I know.
It's because there's no lyrics because they never wrote, like what they sing on that stage is the same thing they said in the parking lot. Sometimes you have to suspend disbelief. It's like, oh, they both knew the lyrics to a song that hasn't been written yet.
Yes.
And I thought Shallow was cool because that really could have happened. They made a hit song out of 2 bars that they said in a parking lot.
I didn't realize that.
And I thought that element of it was cool. I'll Always Just Remember Us This Way, like, it's just a beautiful song, period.
Yeah, no, I feel like it could have been on Joanne.
I love that song. I would like, and that's also a really good first dance song. I don't think it's gonna be mine.
Let me know if you want me to perform it, because like I do happen to, I think me and Lady Gaga must have the same key, because I sing all of her songs, like near perfect.
Do you want to give us a taste?
No, actually,
That Arizona sky.
my throat is not okay. I don't know, maybe I was,
Burning in your eyes.
You wanna know why? I was thinking about you the whole weekend. So there's like a lot of like cool teenagers at the party this weekend. Like I just wanted to be like cool with them.
And you were 490.
And I was drooling like it was nobody's business. And like, honestly, my throat hurts so bad. I have a popcorn lung and I can't drool. It's not good. And I don't want to be a jeweler, but like I was just like, wanted to be cool with the kids, you know?
Yeah, honestly, and this is just a horrible example and a terrible thing to say, you know, when so many people look up to us, but
nobody looks up to us, don't worry.
Jeweling's really cool.
No, like the kids make it look so cool. And honestly, like I fell into peer pressure.
No, and sometimes when you're drinking, it's just the thing you need.
Yeah, and so I fell into peer pressure and I'm paying the price. I've got a popcorn lung and I'm not okay.
That's what happened to me a few weeks ago. I like took like 2 hits of someone's Juul and all of a sudden I couldn't speak for days. I had like, it made me like, gave me the feeling of strep. And I didn't have a popcorn lung. There was nothing wrong. I had a popcorn throat.
And I have like such a sensitive voice and I have a big performance coming up. Like I just really, I can't be taking risks when it comes to my vocal cords and my throat. And it was a very irresponsible thing for me to do and I won't be doing it again. And I apologize for being a bad example.
Maybe it's a sticky shoes situation.
Sticky shoes. Wow, it sounded
That's
good.
pretty, can you try? That Arizona sky.
That Arizona sky. Wow.
Sound like all this
Burning in
snow.
your eyes. You look at me and babe, I wanna catch on fire. It's good, it's different. You know, my brand is very much like perfect pitch, hitting every note, and like this is much more grungy, and I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Well, I have part 2 to this story, and it's really the only part that matters.
Yeah, I want to apologize for being a bad example, but I'm admitting my faults. I jeweled, and I will never do it again. I just feel like if the worst thing I'm doing is jeweling, like I'm fine. But no, it's not good.
No, it's not good, but
I'm
you
like,
know.
I could be on crack, but I'm not.
No, jeweling's not good, but you know, neither is eating a candy bar.
Jackie, do you know how many people were DMing me, commenting, like, did you get lap band?
Oh my God.
And they're like, you totally got surgery. They call it the sleeve. And I'm like, well, I'm flattered that you think I lost that much weight that it looks like I got surgery, but I'm also like a little offended. Like, was I that heavy before? Like I needed surgery? Maybe. Am I out of touch with reality? I don't know. But no, I did not get lap band. And I'll say it once and I'll say it again.
Now I know how Kelly Clarkson must feel, because like everyone's just always, anytime a celebrity just loses weight, it's like, oh, they had surgery.
Okay, but
and honestly, I think I started that rumor.
Kelly Clarkson did lose so much weight so fast. Like I feel like I've lost a little, well, it was 45, now it's probably like 40 pounds since June. I started it When I got my chin done, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a snatched face and a big body. Like that doesn't really make sense. And that's when I started the Dirty Jeans tour, like officially. And I really wanted to lose like a little bit of weight so I just wasn't so out of breath on stage. And so June to January, that's like 6 or 7 months, 40 pounds. I think that's very healthy. It's like 10 pounds a month.
Yeah. No.
No?
June to January is way more than
Okay, so
4
8
months.
pounds a month.
Is 6 months, 7 months.
Do you hear music?
No.
You don't?
I think it's just in your head.
Do you hear music?
She's hallucinating.
No, there's beats. Is that Paris? She came back.
She came back for me. Okay, second part to this story is really the only award show we care about here at the Morning Toast. The Razzie nominations are out.
Fuck yes. I can't believe they didn't consult us.
And Gotti is leading the way.
No.
I hope Randall and Lala go
Oh my God.
to the ceremony.
Also, remind me of something to tell you later.
Okay, worst picture. Gotti, The Happy Time Murders, Holmes and Watson, Robin Hood, Winchester. Didn't see any of them, so I
Me
can't
neither.
speak to it. Worst actress, Jennifer Garner in Peppermint, Amber Heard in London Fields, Melissa McCarthy, The Happy Time Murders, and Life of the Party. Ooh, she's nominated for 2.
Wow, an honor.
I actually thought she did a good job in Life of the Party. It was the movie that was weird, but she was great.
That's her problem. Like, she's a fucking hilarious actress, but in like ID Thief or Identity Thief, like that movie was just a horrible movie, but she was good. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Sandy Bigelow?
Patterson.
Helen Mirren, Winchester. Wow, Helen Mirren's nominated for Razzie. If it could happen to her, it could happen to anyone.
Totally.
And Amanda Seyfried, The Clapper. Sounds like a STD, like a sex ed documentary.
Clapper.
The Clapper.
Totally.
Someone who's going around giving the clap.
Oh my God, I totally thought I got the clap this weekend.
Really?
It's like running around in a bathing suit, you know?
Oh, totally. Worst actor, Johnny Depp, Sherlock Gnomes. Sounds fair.
Maybe he deserved it.
Will Ferrell, Holmes and Watson, John Travolta, Gotti, Donald Trump as himself in Death of a Nation and Fahrenheit 11/9.
He's in a movie.
2 apparently. And Bruce Willis, Death Wish.
Do the Razzies have a formal ceremony? Like,
Yes.
Is there a host?
The winners will be announced.
Like a live stream?
Yeah, I don't know. They need a host, and it needs to be us.
No, I know.
Honestly, I don't know if I agree with all of these nominations, but I don't think I saw enough movies this year because I didn't see the Oscar nominees or the Razzie nominees.
No, I didn't see the Oscar nominees, and usually I don't see all of them. I see maybe 1 or 2, and like I root for them. But I usually just have accidentally seen like all the Razzies, you know?
Yeah.
But no, not this year.
I've usually seen at least one, and I did see Life of the Party. I think Night School should have been nominated because that's the only movie that this year that I walked out of.
I walked out of Baby Boss.
You also technically walked out of Star is Born.
Okay, I left with like 2 minutes left
I
because you
liked
guys were
Baby-
yelling at me that I was late for dinner and I had a huge pit.
I liked Baby Boss.
By the way, I've been waiting for Baby Boss. Like, I've been waiting to see it since I heard the announcement. I love Alec Baldwin's voice. I think it was an inspired choice. I think the premise is fucking hysterical, and it just like wasn't working for me. But I was also like in a bad mood, and maybe I just like didn't want to be at the movies. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that does happen. I think
I'm
that's-
willing to give it another chance.
Maybe just watch it in your bedroom, you know,
Yeah.
with the Tigs.
Without
I
my
think,
bra.
I think he would enjoy it
Yeah.
without your bra. Yeah, that makes all the difference.
Yeah, except when I wear my Thirdlove bra, it truly doesn't feel like I'm wearing a bra. Lighter than air.
It's really true. I've been wearing mine all the time because they sent it to us, and you know, I only have so many bras in the
And
mix.
free is free, you know?
Free is free. And I really do notice a difference in terms of, do you ever get those pains
Marks.
of the
I get
of
marks
the-
for my strap.
And I don't with the Thirdlove
Yep.
bra, and it really feels like silky smooth. Like if I had to see a movie, I would definitely wear my Thirdlove bra.
If one at all, you know? But that's because the Fit Finder quiz, you answer a few simple questions to find your perfect fit. Over 10 million women have taken the quiz to date. It's actually really helpful, and it's like you're faced to answer questions that like you might be embarrassed of, but like it's on the internet and it's private, so like you don't really care.
If it's on the internet, it's definitely private.
So Thirdlove knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. Right now they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. So go to thirdlove.com/morningtoast now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/morningtoast for 15% off today. Highly recommend. Like when it comes to exercise classes, don't take my recommendations. When it comes to fucking bras, take my recommendation.
Agreed. She's an expert in the field.
Truly.
Next story. Lauren Alaina calls off her engagement to high school boyfriend.
Oh my God, I saw.
Lauren Alaina put out a statement yesterday. Over the last several years, you have been so supportive of us through all of our ups and downs, including personal struggles with health and family, and we couldn't be more grateful. You share your lives with us, and we always want to be open with you in return. We want to let you know that we have decided to call off our engagement. While we still have love for each other, we've grown into very different people over the last 6 years. Wow, 6 years is a long time.
Yeah.
We are now in a place where we are each looking forward to starting our own fresh new chapters of our lives. We both love and respect each other and hope you will all do the same. This has not been an easy decision, but we both feel it is the right decision. Thank you always for your love and support.
So I found this really shocking.
Yeah.
Just as someone who, and you really can't believe everything you see on social media, but they look so happy, and then having been in their presence in real life, they really were so happy. She was so fucking obsessed with him. Like, I just find it really, I was shocked.
I was shocked too, but it is the season of calling off engagements.
Yeah, and I feel it's always better to call off an engagement than to get divorced. So I think it's a brave thing to do.
I agree. And 6 years is a long time to be with someone. Like,
yeah.
She's definitely changed. Like
I wanted to DM her and just be like, here for you, but I don't want to be annoying.
Oh, that's cute.
Maybe I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just need to take her out for a GNO.
It's really, I can't talk about the story without talking about Ariana Grande because...
the queen of calling off engagements.
The queen of calling off engagements.
Even though she only did it once, but it was the biggest one.
The queen of profiting off of calling off engagements. 7 Rings is the best song ever. I don't know, I'm still personally struggling with whether or not it's better than Thank You Next. I don't think that it is because Thank You Next is just iconic, but it's unbelievably good.
Gee, thanks. Just bought it.
And it's so empowering. Like, it just makes me want to, 1, earn money, and 2, spend money.
Jackie.
Which is just, like, a really good message to want to spend money. Obviously, we always want to, but to earn it ourselves.
Jackie, I couldn't agree more. And you know what? So what makes it so good is she's a rapper now. Like, she has crossed genre. People talk about Taylor Swift crossing from country to pop. Ariana crossed from pop to rap.
No, it's like a...
Cardi B is shaking.
Cardi B is going to be okay.
Do you think she was mentored by Nicki Minaj?
Ooh, perhaps.
And sometimes, like, that was my problem with Sweetener. It's like, when you're the voice of our generation, like, your songs need to be more vocally, but, like, this is not about the vocals. This is really just about
the
message. A bop, a banger.
It's a bop, and it's a message, and she sampled Sound of Music.
Oh, I loved that.
An inspired choice.
Yeah, no, when I was watching the video, I was like, what? At first, I was like, what is this? And then I was like, this is it.
First, I listened to the song first, and I was skeptical because her song after Thank You Next, I don't even know what it's called, Imagine... No, thank you.
No.
No, thank you, next. And I started listening to 7 Rings, and I was just in love.
And if her new album, 7 Rings, is all like that, like, I would be much more...
She said this is one of the more upbeat tracks, so I don't think I think some of them are going to be, like, more...
ballady.
Yeah.
But I love her ballads.
I do, too. So I listened to it all day, and then that night I went on my YouTube TV, and I watched the video maybe 100 times. I watched some, like, loser's explanation of what the hidden messages were.
There was no hidden message. It was just a good video.
It was so stupid. The video that I watched of, like, I think it was made by, like, Business Insider.
No, I read
explaining Ariana Grande's hidden messages, and it's like, what I didn't realize is I didn't need them to tell me because they were like, because it's like, breakfast at Tiffany's, bottles of bubbles. They're like, she's been drinking champagne recently.
Oh my God. No, I
Girls
read a
with tattoos
BuzzFeed,
who like getting in trouble. She has tattoos.
22 things you might have missed. They're like, 7 Rings, she bought 7 rings for her friends. I'm like, no, I didn't miss it, it's the name of the fucking song.
Yeah, it was like...
And she told us that she bought them all 7 rings.
Right, there's like things you might have missed. The doghouse says Toulouse, like, because her dog's name is Toulouse and that's his house.
I can't, like, so out of touch.
There was like one thing on the car that was written, Nomad, and when I saw it, I was like, I wonder what that means. And they picked up on it. They were like, Nomad's written on the car, and we don't know what that means.
We'll see.
That was like someone posted in the Toasters. The Bachelor was on last night. You haven't watched. I'll maybe talk about it a little, but there's the drama between the Miss America girls, and someone posted a Cosmopolitan article that said explaining the beef between the Miss America girls. I click it because I would like to know because they don't explain because it's confusing and they don't explain on the show like what really happened because they keep saying manipulative, catty, not who she says she is. But what happened to make you think that? Well, we don't really know what happened.
Oh my God.
This is what they're saying.
Don't write an article about it unless you know yet. That's the point. We're going to the article because we think you have the answers.
Don't call it the beef explained.
Explained. We're confused. Okay, us too. That's why we clicked the article.
Anyways, Lauren Alaina called off her engagement. Good for her. I'm sure she's like, it was a hard decision. She will be fine.
She has such a bright future ahead of her.
And she has a bright album coming out about it that I can't wait to listen to.
I just want to feel like... Oh, can we talk about Maren Mars's amazing new song, maybe the best song I've ever heard. But I would listen to Girl by Mary Mars and
Same.
7 Rings by Ariana on a loop while I was getting ready for every event this weekend.
And there's nothing ever else you'll need.
Girl is so good, and if that's the vibe of her whole album, like, I can't fucking wait. I love her. I've been waiting for new music from her. Like, it's actually been such a long time. She's like, because on her first album cover, Hero, like, she looks so different. Like, she was a kid, and now she's a woman. Well, she was a girl. Now she's a woman. And first I was listening to the song, I'm like, it's a banger. Then I was listening to the girl lyrics. Couldn't be more relatable. The first verse is me. It's like, everything looks like shit. All you want to do is get back into bed, and you just can't stop crying because you hate the way you look. Relatable.
Relatable. And she also sampled a little Halo, Beyonce.
Did she?
Yeah, she's like, girl,
You're
don't
like
lose your
obsessed with
halo.
sampling.
I know. I have a weird skill where
She did.
When I listen to a song, like if it's sampled, I can obviously like pick up on that, but I can also tell you what song it sounds like that you might not have thought of. Like
Jackie, Ben is the same way, and
Like,
I think he's crazy, and then he'll start singing it, and I'm like, wait, you're totally right.
I was listening to I said, Alexa, play Brit Nicole this morning because I was looking for some
Because
uplifting
you wanted
messages.
to cry that the sun is rising?
And she started playing a song, and the first chords were the same as The Climb. And now I need to, it's literally, doo, and I don't know what that chord is, and I need to go, like, make sure.
Yeah.
But I think I might be Avicii. I, like, have this composer's
You have
ear.
an ear for, well, you look like a composer today, actually. Going to composer.
No, I look like an equestrian.
Yeah, that's what everyone in the comments was saying.
Equestrian?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You look like a horse girl.
Yeah, like between the hair and the blazer and then the boots, but not really, but just boots.
No, yeah. It's very New England equestrian.
Thank you. I have a competition today. Excited in the snow. Okay, are you ready for today's criminal news?
Ooh.
Chris Brown detained in Paris after a rape accusation.
Holy shit.
Singer Chris Brown was in custody in Paris on Tuesday after a woman claimed he raped her in a hotel. Brown was detained Monday on potential charges of aggravated rape and drug infraction. French authorities have another 2 days to decide whether to charge him or let him go. A 24-year-old woman told investigators she met the artist early January 16th in Parisian nightclub Le Crystal and followed him to his suite at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel with a couple other women. The woman says she found herself alone in a room with the singer and that he raped her, according to local newspapers. A friend of Brown's and his bodyguard also abused her, she said. One of Brown's bodyguards and another person were detained with the singer, local police officials have said. Brown's publicist at Sony Music wouldn't immediately comment on the complaint. The platinum recording artist has been in continuous legal trouble since he was convicted for assaulting then-girlfriend Rihanna in 2009. He completed his probation in 2015. In 2016, he was arrested at his home in North Los Angeles for allegedly pointing a gun at former beauty queen Bailey Curon. He denied the allegation and was released on $250,000 bail.
First of all, what's so crazy is that I didn't even hear about this. Who wrote that up?
Page 6.
Okay, like I haven't seen it anywhere. Like no one's talking about it.
It came out, this was written at 6:13 a.m. So if you weren't on your phone this
Okay,
morning.
it wasn't. But like when it comes to Chris Brown, it's like nobody cares. It's the weirdest thing. He's so problematic. I will, like literally a couple months ago, TMZ caught a paparazzi picture of him with his hand around a woman's neck choking her. And they were like, we were just joking, and like nobody spoke about it ever again. And it's like the scariest photo alive.
Yeah, and then like in 20 years there'll be a Chris Brown documentary, and everyone will be like,
well, I didn't mean that. I'm talking about it. And like honestly, love her so much, but like Kendall Jenner being in that music video was like so crazy. Like the fact that everyone still works with him and like acts like there's nothing wrong with him, and I can't even begin. And it's really hard because Don't Wake Me Up is my favorite song, and like I won't listen to it.
Yeah. I don't have all the, like, I mean, obviously more things will come out and it's he said, she said, but I believe the woman here.
Of course. Oh my God, I can't. Like, so problematic, and nobody cares. Like,
no, nobody
I don't know
cares.
who I hate more, Chris Brown or the people that just don't care. The innocent, quote unquote, bystanders. No, not so innocent, bitch.
No.
And like he shouldn't be allowed to have a music label. It's like RCA dropped R. Kelly, and rightfully so, thank fucking God. Where's Sony?
Rightfully so, because he makes no money. Like,
Right.
One of the toasters said it best. It's like they dropped him now for the same reason they decided to keep him when everything went down 10 years ago. Monetary decision.
Right. He's just not making money now.
It wasn't a difficult decision for them to make. It's profitable for them and it looks good for them.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it would have been the right thing to do, but it wouldn't have been profitable.
Right. So fucked up. The hypocrisy is so real.
Right, but we'll just continue to keep reporting on the stories and just not let it slip through the cracks.
No, but Chris Brown is on my list.
Yes, you're making a list. You're
checking it twice to take him down.
Very fair. Next story, just really crazy news that came out this morning. The world's 26 richest people are now worth the same as the poorest 3.8 billion people, all added up together.
That's horrible.
The astounding gap between the super rich and poor is growing even wider. Last year, 26 people last year were worth as much as the 3.8 billion poorest people in the world, down from the 43 people the year before, according to a new report from anti-poverty nonprofit Oxfam. Just 1% of the total wealth of the richest man in the world, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who's currently going through a divorce, as we all know.
He will be on the list next year. Depending on how long the divorce takes.
There'll be 2 people on the list next year. Just 1% of his wealth is equal to nearly the entire health budget of the African country of Ethiopia, home to 105 million people. Oxfam based this finding on Bezos' estimated fortune of $112 billion last year by Forbes.
So who are the 3 people? The top 3?
Oh. I'm not sure. Just the top 3 richest people in the world.
But who are they?
Oh. I could look that up.
Who do you think it is? Bezos, Bill Gates, and that Mexican oil guy?
I don't think it's Bill Gates.
Me neither, because like Microsoft hasn't been cool in 35 years. How are they still making money?
It's definitely someone, richest people in the world. I'm seeing Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos. But
what does Warren Buffett do?
He's a smart man.
Okay.
And like finance, you know?
Yeah. That's where the money's at. We got to get into stocks.
Jeff Bezos is number 1, Bill Gates is number 2, Warren Buffett is number 3. Carlos Slim is your guy. He's number 7.
He's a boss.
Mark Zuckerberg is number 5.
Sad.
Bernard Arnault is number 4. He's from France.
I was going to say, it's so crazy that the richest men in the world, top 3 are American, right?
That is crazy.
Wait, is Mark Zuckerberg Canadian?
Mark Zuckerberg, he has a United States nationality next to his name.
Okay. And Bill Gates is American too.
Yeah.
And so is Bezos.
Killing
it.
I was crying
11/11.
from Make a Wish. Justice for the girls, justice for the girls, justice for the girls, justice for the girls, justice for the girls.
Network streaming platform, streaming platform, streaming platform, streaming platform.
What nightly pop I was crying over when they were talking about Jeff Bezos' text messages.
What did they say?
They were talking about, they were asking each other, like posing the question, like, would you like sleep with him like for half of, would you go through all that for half as well?
Of course.
Morgan was like, in 2 seconds. She was like, I would take that eye. Do you know that he has a weird eye?
No.
I guess we've never like really stared at a picture of him.
Like a glass eye?
No, like it's like, I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna speak on it. But she was just talking about his eye and I was crying.
Let me see. Oh, he's got like a wonky lazy eye.
Yeah, like he just is a squinter. Anyways, it was so funny. I recommend watching.
Okay, I really need to get into Nightly Pop.
Yeah, you do. It's only once a week, so it's not that much of an ask. Okay, 5th and final story, which crossed my desk because a toaster sent us an email.
And by your desk, you mean your lap?
Yes.
Okay.
A toaster sent us an email. Do you get it? About what's going on between the Saints and the Rams.
Ben explained it to me.
The first time I heard was from that email. I was like, wow, this girl is really passionate. Then, as Zach and I were getting ready this morning, he was listening to his shows, and I heard it come up again. So I was like, oh, wow, this is a big deal. And as I was looking for the news this morning, it came up again, and I thought we should talk about it.
Okay, yes. So one of the teams won, but at the very end, they like did something against the rules, and the ref didn't count it. And the Rams won, but like the guy in the Rams punched some guy in the face as he was trying to catch a ball, which is completely illegal, but the referees didn't call it. Now, apparently, you can overturn a call and even the results of a game if, apparently, if this petition reaches like 1 million people or some shit.
Yeah, or I don't even think the petition has to reach 1 million people. It's just the commissioner can call it.
And Ben said, like, this game is, like, such a big deal. Also, this game decides who goes to the Super Bowl. So now it's L.A. versus Patriots, which honestly, like, just makes me want to go to the Super Bowl even more. Like, all the glam L.A. celebs, Boston, like, Gronk, like...
So it's a Rams-Patriots Super Bowl and an officiating nightmare. The story this morning would be Rams coach Sean McVay taking a franchise that had missed the postseason 12 consecutive times to the Super Bowl in just his second year and going right through the raucous Superdome to do it. The story this morning would be Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's incomparable brilliance in the face of a worthy young challenger at Arrowhead. But that's not where we are on this Monday morning. Wow, sports
dramatic.
Dramatic. As has been the case to a lesser degree on other Monday mornings this year, you woke up today to talk more about a bad call in a football game. And you should, because what happened in the NFC Championship game on Sunday was as as bad as it gets. The NFL's worst nightmare come alive after a year in which the officials were criticized constantly. A terrible officiating failure cost a team a trip to the Super Bowl. That's no exaggeration either. There was 1:48 showing when Saints quarterback Drew Brees feathered the ball down the right sideline to Tommy Lee Lewis, who looked back for it only to take a crushing headshot from Rams corner nickel Roby Coleman, who was on time for the hit like the Giants used to be on time for Tim. Oh, God.
Whatever. They did something illegal.
It was a pass interference. Oh, this is like too much play-by-play. They did something, and the refs called it, and it could have been called differently, and that led to one team going to the Super Bowl, the Rams, and the Saints not going.
No, and it's just like, I don't really follow sports, but like, I imagine like feeling like this is such an injustice.
Yeah, imagine your team just out like that. They should have a rematch. Only for like the, you know,
for the
craziness of it.
Yeah,
all.
but like, what do you do here? Because let's say the Rams win the Super Bowl. It's like it'll always be tainted because they didn't really deserve to be there because they did lose that game technically.
Right. That's also like with the Patriots and the
with
deflated
the balls.
Yeah,
and
they didn't win.
No, but people do, like, when they say, oh, Tom Brady has X amount of Super Bowl bracelets, whatever, they say, like, yeah, but, like, deflate. Like, it takes away from the honor. So if the Rams win, which, by the way, like, Tom Brady will always pull out for me. So
He didn't pull out last year.
He didn't?
No, they lost to the
who?
Eagles. We were there.
Oh, yeah. They burned down the city, I remember.
Yeah.
Whatever. All I'm saying is, like...
And then if the Rams don't win, it's like, well, maybe the Saints could have because they were the worthy team. They could have beat the Patriots.
And this is why it's so disappointing. Because I feel like sports in general, like when you're a kid, like they really teach you like to play fair, be a good sportsmanship, you know, all that bullshit. So they should be the pinnacle of like fair and righteous, but this seems like a big injustice and sports should be doing better because they teach us important values like playing fair and following the rules.
Right, but in
and
this
being a good
situation,
loser.
like maybe cheaters do prosper.
Well, that's true. The cheaters...
Well, I don't think they cheated, but like, cause you know, sometimes in the heat of the moment, you can't help if you punch someone in the face.
And you expect to be called for it.
Right.
Drama.
Much drama. I wonder what they're going to do. The NFL just can never win, as if like the league itself, you know, they're always in hot water. Like,
but I feel like people are always, when their teams lose or they're just like unhappy with the winner, like they're always like, the refs suck, like they called it, didn't win. Ben is always fucking complaining about the refs.
But this seems to be legitimate gripe.
Yeah, but like, to me, it all sounds the same.
In the toaster email, apparently, the ref who made the call used to play for the Rams back in the 80s.
See, that shouldn't
Is that
be
true?
allowed. We don't know.
Oh.
That shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. But then also, remember when we did the Super Bowl live show and we were talking to one of the players and he played on a lot of teams. He was retired now. He was a host like us. He played on a lot of teams. And I was like, do you feel any like, you know, camaraderie towards the Patriots because you did play for them at one point? And he was like, no, it's just business.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure like he played for the Rams in the 80s. It doesn't make him a lifelong Rams fan.
Yeah. I feel like the only like, your heart yearns for the team like based on where you're from. Like obviously if I was refereeing a game New York versus New Jersey, like I would just be like, New York's gonna win, you know?
They're the same team.
You know what I mean? It's an example, Jackie. Ever heard of it? Look it up.
So you would choose the Buffalo Bills over the Giants?
Yeah. New York, strong.
Well, those are the Fast Five stories. Now, we have a lot of cultural things to talk about,
Okay.
most notably Fyre Festival, because as a history major, there's very few times I can use the skills I learned in college in real life. Very few. However, having two Fyre Festival documentaries to compare and contrast is one of those few times. So, as an expert here on comparing and contrasting primary and secondary sources, I'm here to give you the only review you need to know about the Fyre Festival documentaries. We spoke about the Hulu one. Did you ever wind up watching it?
Of course not.
So the thesis of the Hulu one...
Hulu doesn't let you download things offline, so
Oh.
me and my iPad were useless on the airplane.
Understood. The thesis of the Hulu documentary is that Billy McFarland is a longtime scam artist. Fyre Festival was his biggest scam to date. However, he could not have pulled off the scam without the help of a lot of people, the help and compliance of a lot of people. That's the main takeaway. The Netflix documentary speaks to those who helped and complied and supplied.
Aided and abetted.
Aided and abetted Billy McFarland, and it's their take on what they thought was happening. So it's really how they rationalize it and how they sleep at night, knowing they sent 6,000 people to a remote island
Right.
and took $250,000 worth of labor from the local Bahamian people.
Yeah.
And so the Netflix one really is just like this is what we thought was happening and this is why we continue to do our jobs, coming from the people and really high up people and the people who should have known. If anyone was going to know
people who did know.
Right. So if anyone was going to know what was going on at Fyre Festival, just like that investor that
Did they have Elliot Tebele speaking?
No, they had someone else that works at his company because I don't think he speaks.
No, he's really not the most well-versed scholar.
Right. So they had someone else from his company who did a pretty good job. What was interesting, though, is that person from his company gave credit to the Fyre Festival team for the orange square. They said that was their idea.
What's the orange square?
You know how everyone posted the orange Instagram post to stop the internet. Oh, you didn't watch the first one, but...
No, explain.
They had 250 influencers at the same exact time post just an orange image, just orange.
Like a square.
An orange square to their feed. And then you just click the tag and Fyre Festival was tagged and that's how everyone went to the Fyre page and that's where the video was of all the influencers. So it was really genius marketing.
Yeah.
And in the Hulu documentary, the person who had worked for Jerry Media says that, that was their idea. They wanted to figure out a way to stop people in their tracks.
Yeah.
In the Netflix documentary, the Jerry Media guy says that the Fyre Festival team had this idea.
Right.
So it's they're trying to, I don't know who's
They're trying to put off.
But they're trying to minimize their role. They had this idea, we just executed it. Not we executed on being the ministers of propaganda for one of the biggest scams of our generation. Anyways. So Netflix documentary really spoke to the people that were high up, whereas the Hulu documentary spoke to one Billy McFarland, and I'm fine with the fact that they paid him for an interview. They spoke to a few of the same attendees, but then they also spoke to low-level people in his company who it's so easy for them now to be Billy was a piece of shit, but you worked there for years. I'm sorry, if I was working at a company and I thought what we were doing was
illegal or immoral
or just stupid, I would find a new job and purpose in life. So I take those people with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Netflix one is definitely more, it's easier to watch. They have better footage from what was going on the island. But then
obviously they do. They planned the fucking festival.
Right. But I was reading some of the response on Twitter, and a lot of people enjoyed the Netflix one more, which it is more enjoyable. But they never get into the numbers of it. Hulu really, and in some painstaking ways, laid out the investments that he was procuring, where he was spending that money, and then how he was getting new money to finance his loans.
Right.
They really had the paper trail.
They explained it.
Right. And that's not the most interesting thing to watch all the time.
It's if you want the facts, it's a little bit more boring, I feel the Hulu one. If you want glamorous lies, check out Vice.
And it's they both show how they went to the pig island. And the Hulu one, they were it was a disaster. They're throwing beer in the pigs' mouths.
Aww.
And the pigs are biting. They bit Billy's nuts. Chanel Iman fell. They're going out. Shanina Sheikh is it was crazy. And in the Netflix one, they're they wanted to go swim with pigs. So we swam with pigs. And they didn't have any of that other stuff of the reality of what was happening. And even though they made this video that was glamorous swimming with pigs, meanwhile they're getting bit.
I find it so shocking that Vice would put their name on something that is this regardless of who you think did what, it is really weird that someone who was so involved in the festival is producing something that's supposed to be an unbiased documentary. Someone who profited off of that. They got paid. It is weird, and Vice is all about honest storytelling, and the documentary's always rough and rigid and really truthful and honest, but not this time.
No. Not this time. So
it just is not. It doesn't fall in line with their brand values, I think.
And another thing that Hulu did really well is explain to us. They sold tickets in December for a festival that was taking place in April. They didn't have an island. Mm-hmm. They didn't have anything. And along the way, they show us what it would have taken to put on Fyre Festival. And having watched the Avicii documentary, what I realize is there's festivals everywhere all the time. So as much as it's a really big deal to put on, people do it, and it can be done.
And there's a precedent that you follow.
Right, and there's companies that do this for a living. Yes, doing it on a remote island would make it more difficult, but not impossible. And Hulu explains that if they really wanted to, one, procure an island, that takes a year, to put a festival on a remote island that has no infrastructure, no plumbing, no just power to charge your phone, that would take 18 months.
Yeah.
And the Netflix documentary, they never even address the craziness of the time frame.
The task.
Right. And they hired people who are experts, music festival consultants. If you're a real music festival consultant, you would say this can't be done. They didn't really start boots on the ground labor until 45 days out.
Right.
What did you think was going to happen?
Totally.
even if you put up a stage, like, what are you going to do with all of these people?
Well, the smallest bit of justice has been served, and I think regardless of which documentary was better, even though one of them obviously was like 72 times better, the reality is like the true victims here aren't like the dumb millennials who got tricked into going to the Bahamas. It was like the people who really put like their money and their time and lost like valuable money, and it's the people of the Bahamas. And so, the smallest bit of justice has been served for that caterer woman.
There's an update, but also the Netflix documentary did a better job of illustrating that, and you feel more like in the Hulu one, you're like, oh wow, inadvertently they got screwed.
Right.
The Netflix one really talks to those people about how much it affected them and devastated them. But a GoFundMe was started, and the internet has raised over $139,000 for the Fyre Festival restaurateur. A Bahamas restaurateur who lost her personal savings in the notorious Fyre Festival has raised well over $100,000 online after she was featured in the new documentary. So she was the head of a restaurant where they sent all of these early, like, first of all, that's where they were eating the planners all the time. Of course, they never paid her. And where the first arrivals to Fyre Festival, when they knew they had no festival, they sent them just to a restaurant to make it like, because they actually had food and drinks and it was cool and they're on a beach. No one paid her. So Marianne Rowley candidly recalls on camera in the Netflix film Fyre that her personal savings were drained after she fed stranded fans who descended on the island for the fraught Fyre Fest. Like others on the island of Great Exuma, she was stiffed by Fyre co-founder Billy McFarland, who's currently serving 6 years in jail. She wrote on a GoFundMe page, back in April 2017, I pushed myself to the limit, catering no less than 1,000 meals per day. Aww. As I make this plea, it's hard to believe and embarrassing to admit that I was not paid. I was left in a big hole. My life was changed forever, and my credit was ruined by Fyre Fest. By Monday, her page had racked up over $139,000, exceeding her goal of $123,000. Others in the doc also detail how they were left in massive debt thanks to McFarland. I'm so happy that she'll get this money and that she's okay, but the rest of the Bahamian workforce that worked on this are owed $250,000.
140 grand, like for how much people are talking about this, just the movie in general, like I thought it would be more, I'm not gonna lie.
Same. But then also, what about everyone else who worked on the festival?
Right, there needs to be like a victim relief fund.
By the way, they're owed approximately $250,000, and that is exactly how much Kendall Jenner was paid to promote the festival. Just saying.
Totally, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's probably how much a lot of the girls, like Emily Ratajkowski too.
No, she was their biggest get.
Got it.
Yeah, and that's her rate.
That's so crazy because like Kim doesn't take less than $1 million for her Instagram. It's just so funny how all the different girls are valued.
Right. So I'm just saying.
What do you think Courtney does? Like 50?
Yeah. I don't know. How many followers? I don't follow her, so I don't even know.
Me neither. By the way, I just really discovered like the power of the mute button on Instagram because there's like a lot of people, but specifically this one person that I just can't stand. But I don't want to unfollow this person because when I see this person in real life, like they're nice and I enjoy them, but their Instagram is just so fucking terrible. And I muted them, and I just want to say like it's epic. I need to do it more often.
Oh yeah.
Mute city, bitch.
And just some people like, I don't want to not see your post, but your stories are horrible. You should work on that. Also, according to the website, the director of the film, Chris Smith, donated $4,000. Producers Fuck Jerry donated $10,000, and Matt Projects donated $5,000.
Yes, I did see that on Twitter. That Fuck Jerry, actually, I think it was $20,000.
That's what I saw too.
Sorry, too little, too late. Like, and when you do something like that, like publicly, you put your name like Elliot Tibelli. Like, please, we see right through you, vapid piece of shit.
For that, 1, 2. They definitely got paid more than $20,000 for this gig.
There was a follow-up tweet, and Elliot responded, said that they're owed $185 grand like for their work from Billy, but they only got like the upfront 20.
Yeah.
And that's why he donated 20 or something.
Right, and
like
also
that.
like the nicest form of charity is anonymous charity. So like,
and also
if you want a pat on the back, it's not going to happen.
20 grand, like Elliot farts out 20 grand. It's like just the business makes so much money. Like, please, you want to that's nothing.
Right. When he saw her story on like the documentary, he should have paid her back, and that's how they could have wrapped it, and he could have made things right.
Yeah, the Kendall Jenner thing is really interesting. Like, I do wonder, and I really don't put blame on the influencers who are just paid to promote something. As someone who has been paid to promote something, like, there's a level of assumption that it's like, oh, a legitimate agency, and everyone else, like, it's not a big deal. But I do think that these, like, overprivileged rich people, like, could be doing something to help.
Yeah.
And, like, the silence is deafening.
Agreed. So, very interesting. It's crazy that this all came out just at once. And someone wrote in the comments, and now I'm rethinking. I feel like maybe Hulu should have come out after Netflix's, because it would have, like, filled in all the gaps of the Netflix one.
Actually, I disagree.
At the time, like last week, it was all like go Hulu, but now
Yeah.
it's like so many people are saying the Netflix one is better. They had the last word.
I don't know. I just, the argument that it's like somewhat unethical that they paid Billy McFarland for an interview is just, I can't agree with that whatsoever. Like, it's so stupid. You know what I would have loved to have watched the R. Kelly documentary and then watch him explain himself? That would have been epic, and I wouldn't have cared that they paid him.
Yeah.
And eventually that, whatever money Billy McFarland is making now has to go to the $29 million restitution that he owes. So good for Hulu. That's actually helping the people who need it. I so don't care. Ask me how much I care.
How much?
I don't. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Anyways, that's that. Do you think they're going to make a movie about this now? I feel like
It's enough.
Yeah. Oh, and Netflix did have way more footage of on the ground, like the influencers and stuff. Because what I didn't realize, because Hulu they talk about the lead up and then they talk about the aftermath. They never really talked about like what happened in those 12 hours. Like people slept there in those tents. They said it was the scariest night of their lives. Everyone was like drunk. They didn't know where they were going. They said take any tent. So like people claimed their tents. They didn't want anyone around them. They start peeing on all the mattresses, poking holes in the tent so that no one will take them. But eventually they didn't have enough tents for all the people.
People are so disgusting.
No, it was literally Lord of the Flies. So in the Hulu documentary, when they say like, you know, it's Hunger Games, Lord of the Flies, but from what I saw, it was just like people didn't have anywhere to go and they went back to the airport and they're drunk now. But it really was like the worst of humanity.
Right. Well, Hulu wasn't in cahoots in planning the thing, so they didn't get the footage. But, you know, when you are organizing the festival and you're there and you're responsible for everyone, it's not that hard to get footage.
Yes. And just testimony from, like, someone was like, this woman, like, came into our tent. She was clearly drunk and she didn't know where she was, and it was just so scary. And it's like, I can't even tell her where to go because I don't know where the fuck I am.
Right. I didn't watch The Bachelor. I will catch up. I haven't watched anything just because, like, last night but I really want to watch Vanderpump Rules. I heard it was so good. And I just need to see that Billy moment.
It was really good, but next week looks even better.
But that's, like, Bravo, classic Bravo. They give you,
know.
like, a little piece, and they're like, next week.
Yeah. No, this week was good on its own. There are some things I want to get your pulse on, so
I will definitely watch Vanderpump Rules tonight. What's on tonight? Tuesday. Is New Jersey or is that tomorrow? And someone needs to make a calendar.
Siesta Key's on tonight.
Oh, yes.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm actually really excited. It's 2 hours.
Wow. We deserve it, you guys.
Yeah, we do. Okay, what else?
Not much else. We have a very busy day.
Yeah.
Very much so. Gotta go see the Tigs. You guys, if you're not following Pup With No Job on Instagram, like you're really missing out on the most premium, beautiful content and just something that's just gonna put a smile on your face once a day at least.
Jackie has taken the reins on Theo's Instagram and she's gonna turn him into the content creating monster that he was born to be.
Yeah. He was born for this. Like, look at that face. The moneymaker.
Truly.
You guys could really like retire if Theo takes off in the way that he should.
Well, that's the plan. Thank you guys so much for being here. Sorry, I was very low energy today. I'll be back tomorrow.
I think we pulled it out, actually.
Okay, good. Love you guys. Make sure to follow The Morning Toast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We are The Millennial Morning Show. We go live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, and then we are also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be listened to. It has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you this morning. We'll see you tomorrow.